Is this really how promising young careers unravel in Montreal? The shocking news that Joshua Roy, one of the Canadiens' most highly regarded prospects, might be on the verge of demanding a trade has sent shockwaves through the organization and left fans questioning everything they thought they knew about this rebuild. Let's be crystal clear about what we're dealing with here. This isn't some fringe prospect or late-round lottery ticket who's struggling to find his place. Joshua Roy was supposed to be part of Montreal's bright future, a Quebec-born talent who represented everything this franchise values: skill, determination, and that special connection to the local fan base that makes hockey in Montreal so unique. The fifth-round pick from the 2021 draft arrived at this year's training camp in the best shape of his life, carrying the weight of enormous expectations and his own burning desire to crack the NHL roster. After spending last season developing the AHL, Roy knew this camp represented his golden opportunity to prove he belonged with the big club. The pressure was immense. The stakes couldn't have been higher, and unfortunately, the results were devastatingly disappointing. 2 lackluster preseason performances later, Roy found himself getting cut from camp, watching his NHL dreams slip away once again. But here's what makes this situation so particularly heartbreaking. This young man has legitimate talent. We're talking about someone who exploded for over 200 points in his final 2 junior seasons, who lined up alongside Connor Bedard at the 2023 World Junior Championship and helped Team Canada capture gold. That World Junior performance should have been his launching pad to NHL stardom. Playing on the same line as generational talent like Bedard, Roy showed flashes of the offensive creativity and hockey intelligence that made Montreal's scouting department believe they'd found a hidden gem in the 5th round. Those moments of brilliance made everyone in the organization believe they had something special developing in their system. But professional hockey has a cruel way of humbling even the most talented players. Despite his impressive junior resume and international success, Roy has struggled to translate that production to professional level. In 35 NHL games spread across multiple call-ups, he hasn't been able to establish himself as a consistent contributor, and that failure is now threatening to derail his entire future with the organization. According to insider Anthony Martineau, who maintains close connections within the Canadiens organization, Roy is scheduled for a crucial meeting with team management in the coming days. This isn't just a routine check-in or development conversation. This is a make-or-break discussion that could determine whether Roy has any future in Montreal or whether both sides need to cut their losses and move on. The stakes of this meeting couldn't be more dramatic. If Roy and management can't find common ground, if they can't develop a clear path forward that satisfies both parties, then we could be looking at a trade scenario within the next few months. For a prospect who was once considered a cornerstone piece of Montreal's rebuild, that represents a stunning fall from grace. Here's where this story takes an even more troubling turn. Multiple sources have suggested that Roy has displayed a concerning attitude when things don't go his way, an air of entitlement that may have actually hindered his development rather than motivated him to improve. In professional hockey, talent alone isn't enough. You need the mental toughness to handle adversity, the humility to accept coaching, and the work ethic to continuously improve your game. The Canadiens organization prides itself on developing not just skilled players, but complete professionals who can handle the pressure and expectations that come with wearing the blue, blanc, et rouge. If Roy's attitude has become a roadblock to his development, then management faces an impossible decision. Continue investing time and resources in a player who might never reach his potential, or cut bait before the situation becomes even more problematic. From Montreal's perspective, this represents a fascinating test of their organizational philosophy. They built one of the NHL's most impressive prospect pools, ranked 3rd overall by The Athletic behind only San Jose and Minnesota. With that kind of depth, they have the luxury of being selective about which players they continue developing and which ones they're willing to move on from. But trading Roy wouldn't just be about moving a struggling prospect. It would send a clear message throughout the organization about what kind of attitudes and behaviors are acceptable. Young players watching from the AHL and junior levels would understand that talent alone won't guarantee opportunities, that professionalism and coachability are just as important as offensive production. The business side of this potential trade also raises intriguing possibilities. Roy still carries significant value around the league based on his junior production and international experience. Other organizations might believe they can unlock a potential in a different environment, which will provide Montreal with interesting trade options that help address other areas of need. For Roy personally, a change of scenery might be exactly what his career needs. Sometimes talented players just need a fresh start, a different coaching approach, or a new organizational culture to reach their full potential. The pressure of playing his home province, combined with the weight of expectation from Montreal fans, might be creating an environment where he simply can't thrive. The timing of this potential move adds another layer of complexity to Montreal's decision-making process. They're transitioning from rebuild mode to competitive mode, and they need to be absolutely certain about which young players will be part of their championship core. If Roy can't establish himself as a reliable contributor, then his roster spot could be better utilized by someone who fits their long-term vision. The upcoming meeting between Roy and management will be absolutely crucial for determining how this story unfolds. Both sides need to have honest conversations about expectations, development plans, and what it will take for Roy to succeed in Montreal. If they can't reach a mutually beneficial agreement, then we might be witnessing the beginning of the end for one of the most promising prospects in Canadiens history. What do you think about Roy's situation? Should Montreal continue investing in his development? Or is it time to move on and focus on other prospects who might have better attitudes and work ethics? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to hit that like button if you believe professional hockey is as much about character as it is about talent.